All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to start our webinar series right now. How many of you have seen the DINO Talk series already once? How many of you? Yes, we have some fans already, and now you can not only follow it only virtually, but you can follow it in hybrid format, meaning that we have our colleagues from around the world following this now live around the world virtually, and all of you who are here in person to listen to our discussions. Hopefully, you've all went to the website. We want to get your messages, and also we'll be voting and polling during this discussion. But now, ladies and gentlemen, to introduce this discussion on the future of MEWP, so for mobile elevated work platforms, smart, sustainable, and safe, we have selected 4 of your colleagues, and when I say their name and title, I want you to give them a rock star welcome. Are we good? You're ready? All right. From Dinolift, she started in June of this year. She's the Finance and Business Director, Minna Salmi. Yeah. Don't worry, it's the honeymoon phase. You know, it'll blow up. Our next panelist is the Senior Vice President, a very smart guy. I've had a few conversations, very smart guy. He also leads the area of EMEA for Track Unit. I'm sure many people know the company. Thomas Dinolift. And this person is the winner of the European Rental Awards category Small Rental Company of the Year 2020. She's also the CEO of Vatupassi, Milla Törmälä. Yeah. And we have another winner with us, winner of the European Rental Awards category, Rental Person of the Year 2022. Together with his twin brother. Are you sure that you're not Eric, are you? No. just double checking. Owner and chair of the board of Sörby Utleje, Lars Sörby. Welcome. All right. First question. You probably would have had other things to do than to come to Loima, Finland. But you chose to come, and you chose to come and participate in this panel. Could you tell us, why did you do it? Why did you choose to come to speak in this panel? Minna.
Well, first of all, of course, I'm eager to hear what our cooperation partners here in this panel want to share about these topics we have chosen today. Smarter, more sustainable, safer. I'm excited to join the discussion also today about these important topics, and of course I want this to be the start and continue the discussion then also after this panel about these topics with our customers and the audience we have here.
Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Thomas, why? Why did you want to participate in this panel? Well, you can't say that somebody forced you. Okay, you're not allowed to say that.
No forcing was going on, but look at the weather. I wanted to take the opportunity to be here when the sun in Finland is still a thing.
And very much of a thing.
And it's not minus 25 degrees outside. Last time I was here, I was fighting 2 moose in a snowstorm to get here. So, in all seriousness, I wanted to be here. Karin, Dinolift, inviting to an event like this, having the topics of technology, safety, sustainability on the agenda. Absolutely wanted to be part of it.
Fantastic. Thank
you. And I think we all know by now that when a leader throws a party in Finland, it's going to be a good time. So that's also why I came.
We have pressure to deliver, but I think we have no problems. Wait till you see what's coming to us. Wait till you see. Thank you, Thomas. Milla, why?
Well, it's a gift and a curse to be easily enthusiastic and excited. So when Karin sent me an email and it said something, 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 future, something, 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 sustainability, I was in.
Future sustainability.
Yeah.
Oh, wonderful. Those are the key words to get you on board.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, fantastic. So we're going to keep this in mind because it's going to be this is important data for you in our little guessing game that's coming up quite soon. Lars, why?
Oh, Karin called me, and also the topics. I think that's me. Sustainable, smart, and safe. I built up a quite sustainable rental company in Norway, so that's interesting me at the most. Also, this safe aspect is something I work with every day in a tech company that we also have founded. So yeah, super interesting. And of course, when Karin is throwing this party, it's a joy to be here.
Wonderful. Give them a hand for being so candid. Thank you. Thank you. So basically, Karin had a big part of this convincing you, but also the themes are very important. And ladies and gentlemen, now it's time to take your phones in your hands. Go to the website. Because, you know, I have to admit, I have a confession for you. I hate panels. I don't hate the panelists. I love our panelists. But the panels tend to be very dry. You know, it's like question, answer, 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 question, answer. So we tried to break it up a little bit. And what we did is that we've asked them to do a little bit of homework and to think about something important. And I was wondering, you know, what can be our first important question? And Milla inspired me with this slide. Can I get my first slide, please? Look at this slide. Now, for those who don't understand Finnish, you know, this is how you add value for, you know, with productivity gains. And it's a view of 4 industries, basically the service industry, the pulp and paper and forest industry, automation and heavy industry, and then the building industry here in pink. And you see that these are like the superstars in pulp and paper, in automation, and heavy industry. But here in building, you know, from 1990 all the way now, and I've heard that there was maybe a little bit of a gain during the pandemic, but not much. At least in Finland, hardly any productivity gain. A bit like the services sector, also in big trouble. So this made us think, all right? There's obviously barriers in these industries, in our industry, that are keeping us here and not making us go there. And what are those barriers? And what I asked our panelists to think about is an answer to this question. What is the biggest barrier to adopting new technologies in this industry? And I told them, do not answer with words, answer with a single symbolic picture. Ladies and gentlemen, your job is to guess whose picture is whose panelist's picture as an answer to this question. All right? So I'll take the first. Let's take the first one. So, as a symbol of the biggest barrier, if you could change the slide, please, is this. This, in the opinion of one of our panelists, is the biggest barrier to adopting new technologies in this industry. So take your phone and tell me, you know, is it Minna? Is it Tuomas? Is it Milla? Or is it Lars? Please vote now, and we're going to take a look at... I asked you guys to keep a poker face. You're doing a great job. Look at that. Beautiful poker face. For a CFO, it's a very important skill. It's a very important skill indeed. And now, did I go to my website? I told others to do it, but now, let's see. Okay. All right. And I'm going to... Now, see, you don't go to messages, you go to the polls. So you go to home, and then you go to the poll, and then I'm going to vote, this must be, yeah, okay? And then, but I don't see the results, guys, the way I thought I would have it. Am I going to see them anywhere? No? No? All right. Well, Now that you voted, just raise your hand so that I see you. Who thought it was Minna's picture? Nobody. Ooh. Two people thought, 3 people, okay. Who thought it was Thomas's? Oh, many, many more. Mila's picture? Quite a few, yeah. I think you're battling here. Who thought this is Lars's picture? 3, 4, 5 people, okay. So I think it's between either you, I'd say, Thomas, is this your picture?
No.
Oh. Mila, is this your picture?
Yes.
Congratulations to those who voted for Mila. Give yourselves a hand. Yes. And you know, you also sent this other explanation picture to open this up, you know. Now, why don't we have any fresh ideas around here? So could you explain these 2 pictures as being the #1 barrier to adopting technologies in the industry?
Well, I think this picture actually captures it pretty well. But I do think that the lack of diversity is one of the barriers, that if we would have more diversity and more open discussion, maybe we might have the fresh new ideas also. And we would be more willing to try new things and not facing the barrier of like being afraid of new things and being afraid of new ideas and new technology also.
Sounds like a very solid argument and barrier. What do you guys think about that? Your colleagues on the panel, Lars, Thomas, Minna, would you agree with this?
Absolutely. But if I say too much, I'm going to give away what
my
picture is. But absolutely, diversity, of course, you know, different ages, different ethnicities, men, women. We tend to get in the same room and have these diverse conversations. Great things happen.
All right. So, barrier #1. Let's move on to the next one. Are you ready for the next one? Now, I want everybody to get the right answer. You ready? So, the Great Wall of China. What can that possibly, how could that be? It is a barrier. Actually, this is the most useless piece of real estate in the history of mankind. You know, it took 300 years, over 1 million people were building it, 100,000 people died building it, and all the invaders needed to do is to make a deal with the people on the other side. So it's the story, but it's a beautiful structure. But hey, now that you know that it's not Mila, so don't vote for her. Yeah, you can vote on the poll. Vote on the poll for either Lars, Minna, or Tuomas. All right? So now that you've clicked, I'm going to ask you, who thinks that the Great Wall of China is Lars's? Okay, quite a few. Tuomas's? A bit less. Minna? A bit less. The majority think that this is your picture, Lars. Is it?
No.
Whose picture is it? Give yourselves a hand. The minority who guessed right. Very good poker face, again. So please, tell us the story of this picture.
Well, it's a little bit related to what Mila had up there, because to me, the wall is a metaphor of, you know, you want to keep somebody out. You want to keep things to yourself. And I think for the industry to really, truly adopt technology and do it at a rapid pace, and we can see on that curve that you shared that there's really room for improvement. And I think digitization is absolutely one of those routes to more effectivity. Tearing down the walls, removing the red tape, not having projects happen in islands, and then when you have a little bit of success, you want to keep it to yourself. It needs management to drive the digitization strategy, involve engineers, operators, get everybody in the room and have conversations about how we can drive sustainability, safety, and value through tearing down walls and removing the red tape.
And your company is very much into this, obviously. And you're Mr. IoT. And do you see these kinds of barriers that, oh no, we're not ready for it, or no, we don't have the capabilities, or what in your day-to-day job, trying to sell these wonderful solutions to make sure that everything's run smoothly and connected? What are these walls of China that you see in practice?
Well, I do see them, and I have to be careful, right? Because I keep saying I come from an industry that has adopted technology and digitization in many ways, selling supply chain management solutions to large enterprises. But I've been here in the industry now almost for working on my 5th year now with Track Unit. But I am still amazed at how we do put barriers up. We do not cooperate even outside of our own companies, OEMs, working with rentals, working with companies like ours. Yeah. Let's get in the same boat and let's figure out what technology we can all leverage without sharing too much. We still need to compete, right? Yeah. But it is happening, and I'm amazed at how slow it's actually moving. Not provoking any of you,
yeah. But after tonight, it's going to go faster. It's going to go faster. Isn't that right? Yes. We can do it. There's so much gain, so much money to be made. You know, look at this. All right. Now it's super easy, guys. All right. And the next picture is very easy. All right. You only have a choice between 2 people. So I'm going to press the. You see, my IoT is not doing very well. Okay. A puzzle with missing pieces. Okay. Hey, it has to be easy. I'm just going to do a show of hands, and you can click on the application. Then we can do a statistic of how good you were. Who think that this is absolutely Lars's picture? Oh, minority. So I guess Minna. The vast majority think that this is your picture. Minna, is this your picture?
Yes, it is.
Congratulations! You're getting smarter, everybody. You're getting smarter. Well done. Well done. So please, tell us the story of the missing pieces to the puzzle.
Yeah, it is the picture of a puzzle, and especially the missing pieces, as you said. And what this represents is the uncertainty and to some extent also lack of information that there is related to future technologies in general, no matter what is the industry. And what I mean here is that if we have uncertainty in different parts of the value chain, then that might slow down the change overall. And how to then lower this barrier is, like Thomas said, it's about sharing information from different parts of the value chain, no matter where you come from. If you are manufacturing, rental, even those who provide the infrastructure and so forth. So working together with ambitious targets, then we can make bigger changes like Thomas said here.
Great. Any comments on that from you guys? Then we go to your picture. It's easy, right? We know that this, to Lars, is your picture.
Yep.
Now, I'm going to have, it's a surprise question. I didn't put this into the script. I'm going to ask you to be quiet for 30 seconds. And I'm going to ask one of your colleagues to try to guess why you chose this picture. And because she's right next to you, I thought I would ask Milla. Milla, take a look at this picture. You know, why do you think Lars chose this picture to symbolize the biggest barrier to adopting technology in our industry? I'm having a hard time.
Me too. But I would guess that it's a huge climb.
It's a huge climb.
Yeah.
Give her a big hand. I didn't tell her I would do this. You're a good sport. You're a good sport. All right, Lars, enlighten us. What is this all about?
I think it's all about mothers saying no.
Mothers saying no.
So this is my mom. She always said no when I wanted to do something when I was a child. And I think that's because she was afraid for me or for what could happen to me. So that's, I think, the biggest barrier here in also the most of the companies today, people being scared. What can happen?
So too much control? Is that what you mean?
People like it the way they have it.
Yeah,
and then they say no. They want to keep it how we have it.
So status quo, stagnation, keeping the way. Do you see this as well?
I think it's clear that this is all related, right? We're seeing the same things. Missing pieces, walls, barriers, people saying no, stay back, it's dangerous. I think there's a connection here.
All right. Well, we're going to be talking about how we can change that, maybe throughout the evening. You know, this panel doesn't stop here, and we'll send you some video clips to the people following us at home of some of the discussions. But we see that there's a big issue here, and the other big issue that I asked you to consider was, you know, the industry is driven by many things, but it's driven by a strong commitment to safety, as we all know. It's safety first, which is obviously very, very critical. So I asked you to think about, you know, the one thing that we could foster that would make the culture of safety even stronger. If you had to choose only one, and I asked you to choose only one word, and now I'm going to put these words on, and this was the word example. Whose word was this? You can tell me now. You don't need to do the poker face. This is
Yes,
this is
that
your
was mine.
it's yours. Okay. So I'm going to do the nasty trick I did earlier. I'm going to ask maybe your colleague. Why do you think she chose the word example as the one thing that we need to drive a culture of safety in the industry?
Yeah, I thought it was a glitch in the slides.
No.
That was the. But then, are you talking about leading by example? For example, is that for example?
For example, yes.
I'll allow that. Yeah.
So leading by example is what I'm thinking that you want to get across.
Yeah. Did he hit the nail on his head?
Yes, also that, yeah, there are several ways of strengthening safety culture. One is that we can all show example, and that is something that everyone can do, no matter what is your role. You can do a safety act today and tomorrow and encourage others, co-workers or others in the industry to do the same. And yeah, like you said, it can be also on different levels, so that can be from one person to another, but of course between companies, and we can show example to other industries and also of course learn from them. So this is one way.
So it could have been the word sharing also, sharing best practices also.
Also, yeah.
Example. Excellent. Thank you very much, and give him a hand. I put him on the spot. He did a good job. Very good, very good. All right. And then we go on to the next word. Okay. Respect. I don't remember whose word this was. Was this yours, Mila?
Mine.
This is yours.
Yes.
All right. So, tell us about respect. Why is this so important?
Well, I think in this case, respect, I mean that we should give respect to the employees who are doing the hard work, and they should feel that the work they are doing is important and they are valued and respected for that. So they would feel proud of their work and they want to do it the best way and the safest way as possible. And it requires all of us to give appreciation and recognition for them who are doing the everyday hard work.
Lars, you have a big fleet. You have a lot of people. And you have, 50, 60 Dinolift machines?
Yeah.
Something like that.
Something.
What do you think about this notion of respect?
Yeah, I haven't thought about it that way before, but of course, as a natural, I try to give my employees respect. But that's, yeah, I agree in what you're saying. Yeah.
Well, actually, I can give you an example.
Yeah.
But, our employees, we started in one of our ads where we're trying to hire more people, and we're using that we're looking for superheroes for rental industry.
Superheroes.
And now our employees have adopted that, and they're referring themselves as superheroes of rental industry. So
Very cool. Very cool. Yeah, I mean, you're a superhero. That's very, it's showing respect. Fantastic. All right. And now, something very interesting happened when I asked you to send 4 different words, is that you guys sent in the same word. Exactly the same word. Guys, tell us why you chose this. Oh, it didn't work. See, we're having barriers. We're having barriers
That's
to
why
the.
I'm in technology.
And yes, thank you. All right, collaboration. You both chose the same word without knowing this. Now you know.
Yeah.
Guys, tell us why this is so important for a culture of safety.
I think we both chose this word maybe because we are also both in the tech company industry. That's my side business.
Yeah.
And it's very important that we all collaborate to gather data, to improve safety, for example. We can, if we collaborate on that between the OEMs, the dealers, the rental companies, and of course the contractors using the equipment, I think we gets more safety into the business faster.
Makes sense? Are you along the same lines, or?
He's spot on. He's spot on. I mean, yeah, it's the opposite for me than building a wall, right? Hey, I'm sitting here and I'm trying to do my thing and I'll keep everybody safe. Tear down the wall, remove the red tape, and collaborate not only within your own company but outside. And you know, you see a thing like this, a beautiful thing like this, that's dangerous. And people fall off of these things sometimes. And people get really injured, they get hurt. But there's sensors, there's data that flows inside of this thing that'll go off if somebody's doing something dangerous with it. And of course, I'm a little selfish here, but I come from a company that's trying to create a platform where people can access data in all kinds of ways. But one of those data points could, for example, be how many times during a workday has this kind of machinery been in a situation that it was dangerous. The operator may see it and ignore the red light, and I'm going to, drive with the boom extended, even though it's too heavy right now. That's a dangerous situation. If that data could be transformed, come back, somebody can look at it and go and say, hey, on this work site, we need to be aware to educate our operators because they're using the equipment in an unsafe way. But if you as an OEM do not want to collaborate and share your CAN profiles and open this up in this specific matter, then we're not in a good place in the world.
Very cool. And
that's why we need to collaborate.
Super. Thank you very, very much. But now we come to the reasons why you came. Sustainability. We talk about that a lot, and of course there are many aspects to sustainability, but in terms of making the industry greener, there's an elephant in the room here that is making the industry greener already, as you can see. What if you had to identify one initiative that you expect that will, most contribute to making this industry greener over the next 5-10 years? What would that initiative or set of initiatives be? We'll start with you, Lars.
I think each of us has to go into our own company and see how we can reduce our own footprints, reduce energy use. If you start with yourself, that's the first thing I would do.
Have you done this in your company now?
Yeah.
Tell us how.
Our rental depot, our headquarters, we have built a new one in a couple of years ago. We have built it in wood. We are having solar panels on the roof. We are gathering water from the roofs, and we use that water to wash the machines. And of course, we recycle that water over and over again. So. Yeah. We can use this water with chemicals. The water is actually getting better for each time we're using it. So small things like that will actually help. Yeah. If everybody starts with themselves, it's like you're sitting on a plane. You always hear this lady talking about if you have an emergency, put on your own face mask before you're putting on
exactly,
your
absolutely. Yeah. And you know how happy I was this summer for the first time in my life. My electricity bill was positive. They paid me money for my electric panels. I made money. Yeah. I have an energy plant. It's like I never thought that would be possible. Mila.
I think that pretty much the same thing, but I think the attitude counts, and we have to have an open discussion about it, and with the public sector and with the construction side and the rental industry and also like the manufacturers, and and we're talking about openly about and raise the awareness of the things that you can do and what are the things that count.
What we're doing tonight, which is really great. The single initiative from your perspective.
Well,
more IoT.
Of course.
Of course.
Of course, more data, so we can look at the data and make sure we design machines and operate construction sites in a safe manner. I actually thought of the word electrification, but I think that's too easy, right? I mean, and at the end of the day, we just had the conversation. Yeah, this thing can be electrified, and that works great. But a bulldozer, an excavator, we all know they run out of electricity very fast if you work them hard. We have a construction site in Copenhagen where, we're so proud. There's electrical, compact equipment there, and then at night they drive it across the bridge and have diesel generators, put some load on the batteries again. So electrification is not the only answer, but it certainly is something we can do. But again, use data to make sure you don't idle on construction sites. There's so many things. Collaborate, tear down the walls, work together, and we'll figure it out.
And then a multiplicity of energy sources, perhaps also. Not one solution is enough. But then tell us, from your perspective.
Yeah, very good thoughts here. One thing to add, maybe a little bit what Thomas also said here, but the full use of data and telematics in the future, so that we can with the data then increase the utilization rates, have less transportation between sites due to preventive maintenance, for example, and choose the correct machines for the job, these sort of things. And what I think is that when we have more data over the full life cycle, so we know better the environmental impacts and also the costs over the life cycle, so then we can make better and greener choices and not just optimize one part, but to make the industry then greener as a whole.
So at the end, I'm a betting person. I used to be in charge of betting in this country. It's my pastime. So I'd like you to, at the end of our webinar, to place a bet, let's say for a symbolic euro or crown or something. By what year do you think that the European industry that we represent here will really be carbon neutral? Give me a year. And then by that year, if you're right, then we'll give you your symbolic euro. What year, Minna?
Well, first of all, of course, we want to follow our customers and support them to reach the targets here. But I would say that I trust the European industry that we will reach the target and become carbon neutral even before 2050. So
2050.
Before 2050.
I need a year from you.
2045.
2045. You're down for 2045.
I think if we really wanted to, we could do it. But we have to tear down the walls. We have to collaborate.
We heard that. What year?
2040.
2040. Okay.
Say 35.
35. That's.
I hope.
Okay, that's good. That's good.
Actually, the same, 2045. 2050 is maybe hard enough, but I think maybe the Russian invasion of Ukraine now will speed things up for energy crisis that we are going into.
Great bets.
Yeah.
Great bets. Hopefully sooner than later. Let's hope. Let's give our panelists a great hand for this great discussion. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to give you some time to mingle now, 20 minutes, and then we're going to have our starters. And at that time, you should find your name on the table to find your spot, and we'll begin with our dinner. Thank you so much. See you very soon. Thank you.